chorus of which he was speaking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Okay.
The blood's on the wall, so you might as well just admit it and bleach out the stains, commit to forgetting it. You're better off empty and blank than left with a single pathetic trace of this.
5 seconds remaining.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, Minnie, whoa.
That's hard hitting.
This is hardcore. That's the most hardcore trash talk I've ever seen in the lobby.
Smother another failure. Lay this to rest. Console yourself. You're better alone. This man's a lone wolf, Bowie. Look out.
Wow.
I'm terrified. 90-10. All right?
Yeah.
Minnie came to play. I'm going back up.
I like it. I like it.
Speaking of coming to play, guys, I was looking at Mini's profile in Dota 2 Pro Tracker, and he's been playing a hero we kind of forgot about. He has 3 games of mid Monkey King.
Whoa.
Hey, we got him the other day. That was fun. Yesterday.
It was safe lane, right? Mid, I think it's been a while, but I would be down to watching it. We'll see, though. Still, no signs that's what they want to play. They do get the Leshrac and Diaba.
Came in with discussions of old Bristle, but as I believe Zari said, and when I mentioned it the first time, gone. Not going to happen. Doubt we'll see it. Banned first phase, probably all 3 games.
Yes.
It should be. It looks like BINOMISTAS have done their homework.
Yeah.
So what's the next best kind of runner-up to the Bristle cheese?
Medusa.
Brood, but I did stalk both Ben Jazz and Sexy Fat, and they're not playing Brood in their main accounts. So I think we're gonna be, if you have arachnophobia, you can rest easy in this series. You're not gonna see the spider.
They've been playing a lot of Mag on the BINOMISTAS and doing pretty well with it. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that in the second phase, maybe,
Nice.
if it looks playable.
That would be cool.
Hell of a hero.
I feel like I'd probably just ban it, because that's a bit of a weird hero to play versus if I'm Incubus.
Grimstroke.
Ah, man, they like this hero. Soulbind versus Lash. He definitely wants a BKB. He runs into the middle of fights. You can't Aphotic it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I guess
pretty good.
Inkswell with Stampede is always going to be nice,
10
because
seconds
you have that gap
remaining.
close.
And Double Edge with Soulbind is a classic. You know,
seconds
you get the
Yeah, and the
big
fact
damage.
that you cannot dispel the silence from
Radiant
Grimstroke
team battle.
with Aphotic Shield. So that's pretty cool.
There he goes, Bowie.
Yep.
You were right to point it out, because once the Centaur's there, they're like, yeah, if you've been playing some Monkey, no thanks.
Yeah, nice. This is a new band that they just carved out for themselves. So maybe the Earth is going to be free. Maybe the Jugger is going to be free. Oh, I actually just got banned, so sorry. But
You're right, though. Not often we
By
see Monkey
themselves.
King taken out here.
yeah.
Back to the Centaur.
Remaining.
Bowie, who's your favorite
Radiant
pairing with the
team back.
Grimstroke?
My favorite pairing.
Well, yeah, because earlier you said you didn't like Wraith King Grimstroke, and that is like an upper echelon pairing in my book. So who do you actually like here?
I like
Radiant
heroes that
team
can
back.
actually, like, you're going to get the kill if you're using Swell. So Jugger, I think it's really good. I wouldn't mind something like a PA just because you have the instant gap close, even though you don't have a stun.
Ursa's
Ursa's
Bloodseeker,
nice.
my
Yeah,
other top
anything that
two.
has a lower stun. Like, yes, Rift King has a stun, but it's like a 1 second stun, and his
5
damage is pretty
seconds
mediocre.
remaining.
Like, early on, at least.
How about CK, buddy? Is
Yeah,
Incubus going to
CK.
pull out the CK here? Not against Lush. All right, never mind.
Not against Lash, but maybe BINOMISTAS picks it up. Never know.
I hope
take
not.
the Deucer.
This is a lot of carry priority here. Luna, Gyro, Monkey King by Incubus.
Radiant team
You take out Troll here. No, the Spectre, actually. Okay, so Troll does kind of stand out. Still available. They'll go for Lion, get some nice disable. I love this when you have the ABBA, right? Somebody to make up for his lack of stuns.
I mean, there are no secrets here. Like this is probably their most pick past like 3 games. They're just picking Lion all the time. It's like, yeah, Lion feels
Yep.
good. Just play some
Yep.
Lion. So
10
they're okay with
seconds
this.
remaining.
I don't know. It's all right. I'm not. I kind of like having the melee fours with the Leshrac, but oh, that's a hero.
So, I mean, I like Rubik versus Abaddon. I like Rubik versus Leshrac, but at the same time, every time we see the Rubik, it feels underwhelming. So I'm torn. I
10
think it makes
seconds
sense,
remaining.
but maybe the hero's just too bad.
I feel like Sladin was the last one we saw too.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
Maybe there was one since then, but
He really, it feels like he's playing in another patch, right? So he was playing support Ember, support Rubik. Feels like he's reminiscing of his past or something.
even the Earth Spirit, which everyone else has kind of
True.
abandoned, he played last
True.
time we watched too.
I mean, do you have to get Vessel on Earth Spirit? If that's our logic, why he's so low right now? Is there any alternative? Because I still like Earth
you can
Spirit
go
like,
use
in a
Scepter.
vacuum.
there's
You
like
have to buy the urn.
ads. Yeah, you need the
I
urn.
mean, that's all right, though. Just get yourself the
Yeah.
urn and then chill out.
I think there's way less value ganking mid too with water runes and stuff. So like,
True.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of his whole shtick.
Okay.
You want to be able to like gank mid ideally and help a little bit more in your lane, which can be tough without the right pairings.
5 seconds remaining.
Wraith King into Invoker. Exort?
Probably Quaswex, but
Still some use for Sunstrike later, but yeah, probably Quaswex. I mean, there's a Wraith King. Wants to have some control elements. I'd love
Slow
to see
down
an
the
Exort,
Lash.
but
So
what's the
they
carry
need
here?
Carry.
You can't really PL against Lesh. What's your number one matchup versus Wraith King of what's still available? Probably Troll. Still pretty high on that priority list. I don't know if you're BINOMISTAS, what else do you want to take out here? Like maybe Lifestealer.
10
He's
seconds
pretty annoying
remaining.
against all these stuns with the rage.
Yeah,
5 seconds remaining.
maybe
And even Ursa still kind of stands out with that
Dire
Grimstroke.
team ban.
TV. Okay. Yeah, copying the radiance with the reflection is pretty strong.
I guess Sven looks pretty good with Alacrity. I think that's probably what they'll ban next.
I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
if they really think this Leshrac is metal, they should just take Darkseer out
10
because it
seconds
would work
remaining.
really well with Lash and Wraith King actually.
5 seconds remaining.
Drow could be interesting. They actually don't have very good jump.
Yes.
Sort of forgotten about that hero. How long has it been since she was played in SA DPC? Did we see her
I
at
don't know. It's been a
all?
while though.
Maybe
like
at the beginning
maybe
of
one?
the season. Yeah.
Maybe one in week one when it was still patch madness and people were
Mhm.
just picking weird shit.
Yep.
I kind of like it though. Yeah, I don't know. It seems sort of all right here.
Maybe I'm confusing it with the first season, but I remember us
Radiant
talking about
team
like
back.
Drow versus Troll specifically.
Yeah. I think it happened in
Dire
season
team
1 and
pick.
season 2, but very very rarely. They take the Ursa. I mean, the
Solid ban.
Drow is fine, especially if the Centaur allowing, but I feel like their lineup really relies on Centaur. Like, he's the only hero I can front line. So,
Just
I
buy a
wouldn't
troll,
mind seeing a
get
bulky
you,
boy.
and or buy a troll. Get a troll, buy you an early
Radiant team
BKB.
picked.
Ooh, it's my boy the Bloodseeker. Hey, it's my other favorite
out again.
Grimstroke pairing.
Cool. I
In
like this hero.
theory, he goes both ways against Wraith King. It's like, yeah, you got the Rupture and then he comes back to life, but if you use your Rupture on somebody else, you have pretty good like Blood Right setup for when he comes back to life to just silence and kind of insta-gib him. So it's a weird matchup. I worry about Incubus not being able to close this out fast enough. Like, you got Centaur, you can go pretty fast, but I think you got to go even faster.
All right, you guys know what I want to see? I want to see
We said
this
it,
Invoker
Darkseer.
eventually buying eggs. Centaur initiates with stun. Bloodseeker blood rages the Invoker, gives him 30% spell amp, and
I,
he cataclysm.
I actually
Is
want
there a
Underlord.
global limit on it still?
I don't think that exists anymore. Or else, if we don't get that, I don't mind seeing Rubik stealing Finger. All right, so he gets extra damage. Then Bloodseeker blood rages the Rubik, and he fingers someone. That's all I want to see.
Wow, this
But-
is final game of the lower division, and we're really painting a specific picture here. I can't wait for these Rubik steals.
There you go. They're gonna go with the
You
Kunk.
may now select your
Oh,
heroes.
so it does look like the position 3 Lesh after all. Mini will take the Kunkka mid. And he's got that
Dude, they
Shadow
were
Blade
actually-
cosmetic.
I legit think they were hoping they're going to pick PL there. That's exact because they did this last time too with the Kunkka. I think they were just thinking like, aha, well, we'll see if we can trap them because it's like, oh, they only have the Lash like, and that's PL, so it's like kind of good versus like the Wraith King or whatever. But they go Bloodseeker instead, and they're just like, yep, Kunkka still looks good.
Any takers for Incubus? Okay. Got it.
I will go with Incubus. All right. I think BINOMISTAS draft is very good. I'm not going to take anything away from them, especially with this Leshrac. They have early push. But I think the center Rubik lane is a sleeper here. If they can force shield, if they can somehow force a couple of spells being cast from BINOMISTAS, they have a lot of burst damage. And if this Wraith King dies 1 or 2 times, then Benny will have a really tough time recovering.
Definitely a world where if Incubus can play fast enough, like we've seen this Bloodseeker kind of take over, and with the Centaur to help him out, they've got a great supporting cast. It just seems harder. I think if Incubus can, it's a little more fragile. If they can play really tight, they got this, but just a couple mistakes and they'll get punished really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this game, everyone's fairly balanced overall. I think that it's just going to be a bunch of crazy team fights. I think that we're pretty much low cooldowns all across the board. There's nothing that really delays this game at all, so we're just going to be fighting constantly. And I think that just overall BINOMISTAS just look like superior players. And I think that the constant player versus player interaction of team fights is not going to benefit Incubus. So to me, I feel like BINOMISTAS will eventually just like grind their way out to a win.
Yeah, like it seems way easier for them to punish after team fights. Like if the mid game's chaotic, they'll be able to take fights and then take objectives really easily in comparison to Incubus, I think. Their tower pushing
Black Soul.
Just okay. I mean, Black Soul's a badass.
Good, though. He's a good
I'll
invoker,
definitely give
but
you that.
I don't know, man. Good luck, dude.
Oof.
It's Evoker versus Skunka on top of it.
3 platinum badges, though, on Incubus, and generally a good sign for the underdogs. What we like to see. Play to your strengths. Don't get too far into your own head. Play what you know. Come in confident and take your best shot. All right, Gary, Theban, you're up. Final series. Are we ready? Are we fueled up? Gary, you got some of that high-test petrol in you? You feeling good?
Yeah, I've eaten my dinner, had my salad, I'm all filled up and we're ready to go. BINOMISTAS is up against Incubus. Theban, these lanes, Trent was saying that potentially it's pretty balanced between the two. We're going to get into these mid-game scrappy team fights. And I kind of agree, BINOMISTAS, it's a little bit scary with Lion Lesh, Abaddon Wraith King against what Incubus has. I just really, really hope that Invoker goes Exort and I can push these lanes to the very limits.
I will tell you he won't go Exor. He hasn't skilled anything, but I already know he's not going to go Exor. He's got a Ring of Protection ready to buy Earn.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty good against the Kunkka because of the Tidebringer, but it feels like he's going to be going for that Earn build here and maybe transition into the Exor later. Plus, Quaswex is really good against Abaddon. It doesn't have a huge mana pool, so you can just toss it out on, remove that.
Him.
Yep. Make the Aphotic Shields not so good.
Benny considering the steal. It'll end up being 2 for 2 bounties though. Quite a long walk for Burner and Aretes though to get back up towards top. So BINOMISTAS, they're going to be set in their lanes before Incubus can get there properly. Even a TP coming out from Aretes, just try and body block that wave a little bit up top. And Invoker still yet to skill anything. Yeah, eyes on. Now it's Wax first.
Yep.
Go for level 1 EMP.
To be fair, there's no reason not to, right? Against Abaddon and the Wraith King. Reincarnation, also a spell that costs a lot of mana. Like, it's just so good. Quaswex against Leshrac as well. If there was a time to go with the Quaswex, it's probably this game right here. And Nuash, my god, he just took so much damage running into this Centaur.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I guess Invoker could transition, like level 9, level 10, something like that. Go back into Exort after your first few points into Quaswex, depending on how this game's going. But yeah, these side lanes, it's going to be a bloodbath, isn't it? I've got Rubik, Centaur bottom, Slardin, Benjas, that lift into stun with Fadebolt and Double Edge, lots of catch, kill, nuke damage galore. Benny and Nuage is going to be on their toes this entire laning stage, just looking for the shield saves and the ability to back away from them.
What? Whoa.
He's walked into this, though.
Jeez.
They don't have Red Fire Blast, though.
Yeah, exactly. He went that Vampiric Spirit level 1. I think Slayden knew about that. And that's why he was like doing that shenanigans. Because if he got stunned up, he was super dead. Benja's not going to be taking the beating. They got level 2 first on the safe lane with the Wraith King and the Abaddon. Also going Mist Coil. Yeah, it's got Mist Coil. Interesting.
I thought maybe there with Mango stick charges. Yeah, he could have gone diving under that tower. But yeah, they're pushing pretty hard. Forced a salve already. And they could keep that aggression up if they consider their options. It's just going to be a pullback from Nuages for now, though. reset that lane and deny a bit of the golden experience away from them. And you're right, that level 2 still coming for Incubus, so their aggression delayed. While in the other side lane, Lion contesting the Grimstroke pull, and that leaves Leshrac in a 1v1 against Bloodseeker. Leshrac's going to have a great time harassing into Burner, and Jupiter has actually made his way over. Now that pull may be a problem here for BS. They've got the stun out from Lion, chain it up with a Split Earth. Might not be able to finish him off. Burner is going to turn with a Blood Right and actually try with the Inkswell to connect onto Jupiter, but the Edict, now Sexy Fat, moves forward with the damage. Jupiter battling with Burner, the Fairy Fire popped and the two-man stun. They've set it up for them with a Split Earth landing, and Jupiter survives. Misses out on the Stroke of Fate. Aretes, he's going to have to contend with a salve now from Jupiter, who's going to wrap himself around the trees, past the tower, and he looks pretty safe to me.
Yep, just double range heroes and perfect stun setup. Earth Spike has a longer cooldown than the Split Earth, so whenever the Earth Spike's up, the Split Earth is going to be up too. So back-to-back chain stuns onto Burner, and he just takes the fall there while the Grimstroke was pulling.
Yeah, definite problem for them. I mean, Leshrac's such a good lane bully as well. And that Edict and Split Earth being leveled up. And that's the lane I'm kind of worried about for BINOMISTAS. You know, the double squishy ranged heroes against Inkswell, Bloodseeker. If they'd died first, that lane could just crumble down. There's a great advantage they get just to make sure they can stick around. Alright, that's going to get
doing
another
good so far. Yeah. And mid lane, it's a pretty, boring matchup. It's just Invoker with Quas healing up through the Tidebringer damage, and Kunkka just trying to farm and dodge these EMPs to keep his mana up. We'll probably see Mini just go into the jungle, farm the small camp at some point, stack it up, yeah, and just play for farm.
Do you think Black Soul's doing better than expected? I feel like usually with these Kunkka matchups, the Kunkka's ahead by maybe a wave or two 5 minutes in, but it's dead even CS-wise.
Right, I think it's just the denies from Black Soul that's kind of helping him out here, but it's going to be like this for the most part. As long as the Invoker uses Tornado for last hits. Arates, yeah, okay, dodges a stun. Good, Sexy Fat, wasting 220 mana there.
He's got himself a fluffy hat on the Leshrac. Fluffy hat, null wand.
Nice
Super
build,
tanky,
to be honest. Look at his HP, 965. All right.
Yeah.
I dig
It's
it.
incredibly tanky. So then that issue you have with the Inkswell Bloodseeker, he's able to kind of break past that initial nuke damage, survive, and get his spells off, which is what this lane's super good at, is counteracting.
Yep.
Double stuns allow you to make some real serious outplays.
Raindrop also helps out a lot against the Grim here. This is a build I sometimes go on my Mirana, just because, obviously not the null, but just if I want to tank and soak a lot of damage. Oh, mid lane Mini.
Lion.
TP in.
He's TP'd in here. And he reveals Sentry Place. There's the stun onto Black Soul.
Tanky, though.
He's still pretty tanky with a Quas and a Fairy Fire, but he doesn't get it off in time. The Hex lasts long enough. Black Soul couldn't get that burst 85 HP regen.
And that Sentry wasn't in the tower, so they can maybe do that play again with the boat. That is very possible.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a kill without the
Nuages. He's got another shield and 5 stick charges. Raindrops, he's get lift back, but Benny with that Wraithfire Blast and the Skelly's back onto Benjaz. The Mist Coil and the final touch. Benny's going to get the kill, while Abaddon, he's still alive with another shield, another Mist Coil. He survived, and he's turning back onto them. This lane, Bowie said it was a sleeper, but Rubicon and Centaur are being annihilated by an Abaddon Wraith King.
Wow, okay. I mean, he just had to try and run away from that Abba so he can get the silence off and get the Fade Ball, maybe get a kill, but they die before they can get the Fade Balls here. Okay, so 2-0, top bottom lane 2. All the lanes going very well for BINOMISTAS.
I mean, much more unexpected in this bottom lane, though, do you think? Like, Rubik Centaur is meant to be your real staunch, we're going to kill you no matter what happens.
I agree.
But the lane control here from BINOMISTAS has been superb.
Exactly. The way that they're just constantly shoving the lane out and playing for pulls has been so good from BINOMISTAS. Rubik Centaur is meant to be pressuring you, but when the creep wave's running into you, it's so much harder to do that. And that level 1 Vampiric Spirit, just getting those skellies up early. Maybe Benny's onto something. Oh, double bounties? Thank you. I'll pick those up. Sure.
Oh, yes.
Dude, they just got a burst of 150 gold for every hero. Kunkka took 1 bounty rune, and the Abaddon just took 2. My goodness.
Yeah, Benny's now like, oh, money for my Midas. Get the golden money hand going. Oh, what a great start for the BINOMISTAS. Like you said, it's every single lane. That rotation from Jupiter mid helps out. So now Kunkka can think about rotating, and he does swing up towards top as he's level 7. Observe order the Dire team. Did that scout him? I was too slow on the old fingers to change the vision. I believe that Dire Ob should have seen the Kunkka moving up here.
Yeah, and the Leshrac is also level 6 right now, so you don't want to be fighting into this Lesh here. What? Falcon Blade?
On Lesh?
Okay,
Interesting.
well, I like the fluffy hat, but I don't feel like building into a Falcon Blade was necessary.
Yeah, because you just buy arcane boots, right?
Yes.
Just get
Just buy
arcane boots,
arcane boots.
Get your hood, your greaves.
Yeah, so it's a
Interesting.
little much. This Falcon Blade is definitely a little much. I'm not a big fan of that one. I think just being able to hit this arcane boots, mech, hood, pipe, greaves for your team, and playing with the Abaddon is just such an amazing timing. This Falcon Blade definitely gonna set him back a little bit.
Oh, they nearly have the X mark on Slardin. He dodges the torrent too. Really well played by the
Footwork.
Rubik. As they grab the rune, hasted Black Soul onto top. Sexy Fat.
gank.
A Falcon Blade, it's not going to save you from this. He's got 1 charges, but he doesn't even bother using them. 3 heroes come into that top lane, find a nice little snipe.
It's a very good play here, especially with that ward in front of the tier 1 tower, able to see the Leshrac all by himself. Sets up Black Soul to TP and get a quick kill, and then just run back middle. Slardin is mid, trying to get some XP though. Black Soul's like, you know what, buddy? I'm gonna need this lane back. I'm not Exor. I don't farm jungle creeps.
Yeah, he wants his Spirit Vessel. Does have those earn charges now. Maybe Black Soul could think about another move, but you can't really come into that
Smoking.
bottom jungle.
Yeah, they're smoking right now, and there's nobody pushing out mid either for BINOMISTAS, so they're not gonna get information that the Invoker smoked up here. Mini, he finds the Grim.
It's
Not
kind
a
of
very good
telegraphed
kill, though.
where the Dire heroes are going. It's a blood right in on towards 3 of them, and they slain Oretes, but a Tornado MP counteracting a little bit. No follow through.
Missed.
This is the thing, right? You bring 4 heroes up from BINOMISTAS. You know, like you said, the Invoker, if no one's showing mid, no one's shoving, they can't really go bottom. They don't want to go down there. It's just a Wraith King, and he's going to have Reincarnation, so they have to go top to answer as you're knocking on that tier 1. And they're just set up for it.
Yeah, you want to kill that hero with the Dabok Edict, or the tower's going to die very quickly. But while they're smoking, BINOMISTAS is also smoking. Artes getting broken, or getting caught out. Just an absolute disaster. Because right now, in the early game, they don't have that much damage output on Incubus.
Yeah, this is where
pretty much
Leshrac,
every single hero. Yeah.
he starts to open up the map, right? Level 4 Edict, like you said, he takes the tower. So he can push out this one more wave and probably move in towards mid and play from that top side. But Burner. He's going to try to come down onto this Benny Wraith King, shielded up. And he's not got mana for Reincarnation, but he gets away from there.
Again, they don't have damage. You know, that's 3 heroes. They use every single one of their stuns, and they couldn't bring down this Wraith King. Just 1 shield, 1 miscoil, and he's out of there. He's got a Midas now too. Man, Benny is going to be gigantic this game.
Now it's Burner. I got the names mixed up before, but not this time. Nice X-Boat. Perfect chain stuns with massive magic damage out of Sexy Fan. And he's going to chase Slot in here. Oh, he knows there's not mana there for the Rubik to lift him, but he's just going to let him stay. Doesn't want to dive and force any more TPs and maybe give his life up himself. And they're trying to set up on mid lane. Jupiter moves forward. Earth Spike into Hex. They've got a Finger of Death. Oretes, he can Ink Swell and maybe save the Invoker here. X-Mark dragged back, but stopped by the
silence.
Phantom's Embrace. Good silence from Oretes. Yeah, stops the combo. And still got the stun on him. And Mini's completely out of mana. That's a 10-minute armor on Mini, by the way.
He is gigantic. 5.7k net worth. And they're also buying arcane boots on BINOMISTAS to counteract the EMP here.
Oh, they got him!
No way, they got him.
My God! Oh, you can't save him from that
Okay.
one, can you, Oretes? And now, this armlet doing so much physical damage, just hefty hits coming out of Mini. It's a steal on the Hex, but Slardin and Oretes got to be so careful of their positioning.
Yeah, they got the arcane boots to get that
Top
mana
lane.
back from Mini as well. Got
Sexy Fat
X-Mark
solo
needed.
kills Burner.
Okay.
The Leshrac just
Alright.
runs at him. Edict Pulse Nova, take him down. Bloodseeker's gone. And Incubus, they don't have a leg to stand on right now. Every lane has gone so poorly. They're collapsing everywhere you look. And Centaur's Blink Dagger really is the only saving grace that we can think of. That's still 1,000
Got
gold
that.
away.
Level 2 Lightning Storm on the Leshrac, which easily sets up for his Split Earth. Doesn't even need a setup. from somebody else. It's just a crazy amount of damage from this Leshrac. And they're just farming on 3 lanes, Gary. The Wraith King just left bottom to go mid. He's like, okay, maybe we can drop some skellies and pressure this tower. Sees the Invoker, backs off. But look at the Ancient stack.
Yes.
He's farming up right now. He's so farmed, and then he's going to get these Ancients too.
Is he going to give it to Benny?
Benny's like, can I have some
I'll
of that?
help. I help. Mini, please. Give me the big ones at least. Oh, come on, please, sir. One big ancient creep. Stop hitting them. Yeah, Skellies, go on, get 'em. Oh, Mini at 7,000 net worth, though. Jeez. What does it go next? Is it all into BKB, or is this a game where you can think about something bigger as they get onto new archers, but his borrowed time's out, and they don't have the damage to kill him off basically twice. A Tornado Imp is going to catch him. He's going to get the 1 charge and another shield off, probably, as they've voted into Benjas, forcing out the Stampede to retreat. They have 5-man committed onto a position 5 Abaddon. Soulbind comes out now. Double Rupture there, sure. Areta saved by the Rubik shield. Nobody dead just yet. A Sexy Fat bails back. He's in the blood right now. Silenced up, but he can stand his ground. Has himself Raindrops, already used the mech. And BINOMISTAS have that 1 hero out on the map still farming, while Incubus committed heavily.
Yep, Nuage can just heal this Leshrac up. You know, they use so many spells on Incubus. They can't even bring down this position 5 Abba. It's just so hard for them right now. The damage source is just not there. Invoker, Quaswex, also no Vessel, no charges even on his urn. And it looks like he's going to start transitioning into that Exor build. So clearly the Quaswex build was a complete failure in this situation. You know, I keep wondering, like, is a Centaur with this max retaliate actually worth it? Like, it feels so underwhelming every single game. Where's the double edge? Where's that damage?
Right, I was going to come to this. Like, Invoker control, Rubik control, Centaur with this build, he's basically just lane shove and control. Bloodseeker doesn't offer you much nuke damage. Invoker, he's going to slip away from mid. Grimstroke is pretty much control. And usually when you list off, you know, a number of heroes with control, you want at least one of them that has nuke damage. Something that can blast, something with a blast ability.
Yeah. I mean, Rubik plus double edge, like Fadeball double edge should be enough, technically. But they just don't got that double edge maxed out, and Rubik, you know, he can only do so much with this hero. He's got the Aphotic Shield, so that kind of helps and stop some of BINOMISTAS' plays, but I don't think BINOMISTAS are interested in making plays. They're farming so much of the map.
It's a 7k lead, 14.5 minutes in. But yeah, especially when their real blast damage is that Centaur Rubik, and it's already been, you know, negated basically by the mech of Leshrac. The Abaddon with the shields and the mist coils, which, you know, he's maxing out. It's a real rough time. So then we're starting to look towards these mid to late game fights and the itemization from Incubus. You know, like you said, Invoker's transitioning with the Hand of Midas. Centaur, he's got Blink Dagger coming now, and that's really a pivotal item for Incubus to get off the ground and running. So they need to chain some smokes together, get Burner involved, but it's a Bloodseeker with just a Maelstrom. He needs BKB, he needs more time to farm. Some drastic action needs to be taken.
On this Bloodseeker. You remember the game with Parker, right? He had like a, 11-minute Bloodseeker, and he had a pretty good game. Sorry, 11-minute Maelstrom on Bloodseeker, and this Bloodseeker is only like 1,000 gold to the Maelstrom. It's already 50.5 in, and he's gonna have to rush BKB. There's no other way to play in this game. If he doesn't go BKB, he's gonna get Hex, stunned, Leshrac destroyed with all the magic damage it has, Kunkka Bow, X-Mark. There's just way too many disables on the side of BINOMISTAS.
Yeah, you just can't be reliant on Rubik stealing shield and having Stampede there every time to save you from these fights. They do
So
try
we
and
can
claim
take a look and wait. Because if Burna doesn't like queue up that BKB soon and go straight for it, you can just call it a day for Incubus.
Benjas shows his blink. He reveals it onto Nuage's Abaddon, who doesn't really care. Like, even if he dies here, it's just so much space for the rest of his team to push top, push into mid. Like, yeah, they're chipping away at him, but 3 heroes, and it's taken them 20 seconds to kill an Abaddon while you're losing a tier 2 top. You force the glyph.
Yep.
Mid lane's going to die straight after that as well, and you've not been farming, really, on these heroes.
The trade that they want to make, the tier 2 for the tier 1 bottom, which is completely fine. But they need to be able to defend their own tier 1 mid, though.
Still up at full HP. In comes Mini with a TP.
Did you see how many Arcane boosts they have on BINOMISTAS right now?
Is it 2 or 3 now? It's 3
They got
now.
3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they got 3, and that pretty much destroys Black Soul's Quaswex Invoker and his
that's so good.
EMP potential.
Radiant's
Yep.
bottom
Every time they get
tower is
EMP,
under
they just
attack.
click their Arcane Boots, give the mana back to the Wraith King, to the Abba, and that's it. You just keep fighting with it.
Dire's middle tower is
That's
under
really clever. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen that. Tranquil Boots have become such a
Yeah.
mainstay, especially for heroes like Lion, even Abaddon to a large extent. That's great.
It's a way to counter Quaswex Invoker.
It looks like Sexy Fat's not going to go for the finished Greaves, and he's not going to go for the Hood or the Pipe or anything. Going into that Kaya Sange, probably. Picking up the Sange for the tankiness. Status resist up against this Incubus side pretty good as well. And there it is. The BKB on Kunkka. They are so ready to fight.
tower.
Radiance Wraith King, BKB Kunkka. Yeah, time to hide, Incubus. I think go find a cupboard under the stairs and just lock yourself away because BINOMISTAS, they are coming for you.
And Burna is still another 1,400 gold away from that BKB before Incubus is fight ready here. Black Soul, went for the Midas, so they're really looking to slow this game down on Incubus. And they're kind of, turtled up into their triangle area, waiting things out. Wraithking's got that Radiance, going for a Shard next, so Burn won't be a big problem for him. He's always going to be able to get that Reincarnation. I would love to see BINOMISTAS just go into the Roshan pit, though. Try to force Incubus to come out and fight them, because that's what they got to do. Incubus, farming this way, they're kind of stabilizing the game for themselves. And you want to make them, panic. Get out there. Do something so you can use your net worth advantage.
It is still kind of annoying, I think, especially in getting into the mind of Benjar Centaur. He's bought the Blink Dagger, he's been told to do it. We need Blink, we need some form of aggression to get pick-offs if they're ever offered to us. So they are definitely wasting the time of Centaur and his item in that regard. Anyway, Jupiter, he finds the catch and they've got the X mark. Countering the Stampede. In we go with the dust, reveal up the Invoker, and a level 11 Black Soul Invoker dead.
Bruh.
As Mini
Jupiter
counters up yet another kill.
He didn't use his finger. You gotta use your finger, man. Get your gold and get that extra stack on your finger of death kills. Yeah, one thing about Lion is you gotta be getting those kills, because this hero doesn't farm that much. You're playing a lot off the map, and that's where your gold comes from, getting the kills.
Is there an argument to be made that they know they're going to get another kill right now and Boat's on cooldown? So they want to use the finger for this one?
Yeah, that's fine.
This one's a finger kill, right? Zap him?
No, didn't use it.
Well, never mind. Forget I said anything.
Missed opportunity. I mean, he's holding it. He's holding it for that perfect finger that, they're going to be able to get away with. But you're stomping the game. Just use the finger, get your damage out, get your damage, get your guild.
Oh, this could be
Get
big.
your blink
Sexy
back.
Fat.
Sexy
He
Fat.
walks up to high
That's a
ground.
big kill.
There's the blink stomp with a meatball on him. Beautiful kill. They were ready for it.
Okay, so your team is on the bottom triangle area, and they've warded there, and on the top left side there's no vision, and you just walked up the hill as if Incubus don't have anywhere on the map to play, right? So a little bit of an opening for Incubus now to just smoke out, make another play happen while this Lesh is dead.
Was that a lapse in...
That's a pretty big pinata kill right
Lapse
there.
in concentration, or is that the ego showing from the Leshrac?
He probably wasn't thinking. I think he just thought he was so much stronger than he actually was.
Yeah. Abaddon, yet again, gets off his borrowed time. Still trying to chase him, and they do dodge away from the torrent. Trying to chuck that
They
rupture
should
towards
keep going.
Mini.
Why not?
They're chasing him
Hero's
towards
dead.
the Kunkka. Mini's got BKB. They've also got this Benny Wraith King with Shard and his Reincarnation on level 2. So even if he dies here, he doesn't mind too much. The Stampede and now the Stolen Edict. Reincarnation comes out. Benny silenced though by the Blood Rite as the BKB from Burna ends. That allows them to X-mark him up and drag him into the boat. The Soul Bind counteracted by the BKB. Aretas falls and they've got Burna stuck here with a great split
Ooh,
earth.
nice stun.
There's the Finger of Death. That's what it's for. Being held for the Bloodseeker kill.
Yep. Wraith King might have been the wrong target to go on. Mini was ruptured, and I think Benny did a good job of putting himself between Incubus and Mini, so they can't focus the Kunkka there. And now just going to go straight into the Roshan pit. That shard is pretty nice, to be honest. Not only for the no mana cost on your Reincarnation, but summoning those 3 skeletons have been quite annoying for Incubus. As soon as he dies, they have to turn around, try to kill them, or just take a bunch of damage to their face. And it gives vision too.
Yeah, just chasing these heroes. Scouting them out wherever they go. Well, Roshan and Aegis. Mini grabs it up. So now they've got 2 heroes with 2 lives. we've got a 7 versus 5 now, and BINOMISTAS with a 10k lead as well. We keep adding all the numbers up. Massive advantage for them. And it really does feel like they're building all the right items. Solar Crest is going to be coming soon on Nuages. They've got this Ether Lens. So one of the Arcane Boots gets disassembled, and he's going to go back into Tranquils. They do still have the one on Lesh and the Abaddon. Up against that EMP.
Even though Leshrac died, they lost the Abba, and there were a little bit of signs of life from Incubus. They're just way too far behind to be able to get more than that. And now BINOMISTAS getting that Aegis, taking that objective off the map. They can just take the remaining tier 2 towers quite easily.
Yeah, and if anybody shows this is what happens to them, they get punished for being out on the map. Aretas also going to lose out on his sentries and his courier there, as well as his own life.
Incubus are just in split push mode, nothing else. Just farm until BKB's out. I mean, sorry, Aegis is out.
Does he have to BKB on Burner here? He ruptures Mini. Well, that's an Armlet Kunkka that's just chasing you down. If he gets an X mark, a Torrent, he's going to try and catch him with a boat, and yeah, he does have to BKB. Stampede and BKB used there to get that Bloodseeker out.
It doesn't feel too bad, you were already at 8 seconds anyway, and your max duration is 6, so you're going to have to BKB every time you get X mark from now on out.
But does that mean that they can't really fight around his objectives?
Yeah, they can spam though for the tier 3 high ground play. It looks like BINOMISTAS might be aiming for it. The way Benny's angling himself, he wants to hit that. Creep wave, Benny? No? Don't want the creep wave? Alright.
He doesn't want it.
They just want the tier 2 mid.
Yeah, systematic. Go from bot into mid. They need to defend that creep wave coming in. Make sure there's no one cutting it. It does give a little bit of space to... Yeah, this Rubik has 2,700 gold saved. Philosopher's Stone, level 4 Edict. He's bursting through creep waves and creep camps. He's incredibly farmed.
Honestly, he should probably just go Aghanims.
How is he being hit by that Split Earth? Beautifully set up by Sexy Fat. Dive under the tier 2 mid for the position 5 and claim up yet another tower with this Edict.
Yeah. They need some spam here though. They need some Fade Bolts. Defend the high ground, but it looks like BINOMISTAS, they're deciding to catch heroes instead of just forcing the high ground and bringing heroes back. Maybe a little bit pressured by the side lanes. Yeah, the waves are being cut on the side lanes too.
That Rubik had to TP out. He was a little bit afraid of the response from BINOMISTAS. Is that a double TP? No, it's just one TP. Benja's still there. He's hiding, but Jupiter might just be able to move slowly enough through the jungle to get in with the Hex. Starts it off. Now, where's my team? Jupiter, where's your team? Oh, he's got a shard. He's just got his free BKB. Turns around onto Benjas. Didn't get the wall stomped down, and now Sexy Fat and Mini finally arriving. They've been set up for by Jupiter really nicely. A great pick off. Yeah, well-deserved tips. Yeah, Sexy Fat and Mini, good job. Keep that morale high.
I think it's time to go high ground here. Well, it looks like Kunkka's TPing top though without an X mark. It's interesting. They actually have no intentions of going high ground. They just want to keep on getting kills on the map and farming and getting more items. Even though they do have the Aegis and a Leshrac with mech, double arcane boots. Feels like it would be a great time to just take a Rax. But BINOMISTAS playing it very cautiously, They want to seal this game when they feel it's good to do so.
That's probably going to be second Roshan, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah.
Like they've got AC Wraith King, that Aegis. It would have been like a minute and a half if they'd gone and pushed bot lane. They would have had just over a minute on it to try and push that high ground.
But to be fair, because you're not pressuring when you should, you are giving more opportunities for Incubus to try and come back into this game. It is a 14k gold lead, you got a lot of the map covered, but Incubus, they're okay to keep on dragging this game out because they're going to need a lot more items. They got Ags now and Invoker, so he's got that Cataclysm, so there's more damage coming in. Once Rubik finishes Aghanims, it's going to be able to steal amazing spells from BINOMISTAS on a very low cooldown on that spell steal and just keep chucking spells out. I don't know. I think Incubus do have an opportunity to be able to come back into this game, Gary, even though they're this far down. Just because BINOMISTAS are not taking advantage of their timings.
Yeah, just like through that defender's advantage with buybacks, all the spam you're mentioning. Yep. Like the team fight setup as well. If Benja spots a hero, they could just blow them up with Cataclysm. Blink Stomp is a great setup.
They do need to think about Nuage and his
but
body
Burner.
shield here, but
Burner,
there it
Burner.
is.
The chain stuns.
They can turn
He's
this.
fingered. In comes the Centaur, Blink Stomp, save the Bloodseeker. Aretes straight towards Mini, they BKB up. Jupiter's also got a shard going. Mini, he cleaves through. That Daedalus, so much right-click damage, but they do
So
trade
much
1
damage.
for 1.
But Black Soul lost like 1,400 HP or something from that cleave. But yeah, the 1-for-1 trade, I mean, that's going to benefit Incubus. They didn't use the BKB on the Bloodseeker either. They do have the Rupture available too if they want to go and do something with it. I was surprised that Black Soul didn't pop his Cataclysm. Let's see this crit. Let's see this cleave. It's going to turn around. I don't know what was going to turn that team fight, but that was going to be it. They didn't chase after the Kunkka because they're so scared of the potential damage that can come from the cleave.
Yo, BINOMISTAS. So you've been wondering why they're dragging this game out and they've not been pushing their advantage. Mini's got another Daedalus queued up. Mini, you were talking about wanting to one-shot the game, right? Wanting to one-shot the game, win a team fight, take tier 3s, take the throne. I think that's what Mini's aiming for now. He wants to one-shot the entire team with one Tidebringer. It's been so long since I've seen this kind of build. Oh, it's going to be great. Blink Dagger,
It has been.
Daedalus.
Now, your admiral is on board.
I mean, it used to be back in the day when the Shadow Blade got amplified by the crit as well. We don't have that anymore, sadly.
I mean, this build was very popular when the Tidebringer cleave was pure damage.
Yeah.
And on level 25, you had like an extra, like the talent tree for more damage on your cleave too. Yeah, that was some
It was like
real
plus
funny
50%
stuff.
or something. It was like ridiculous damage.
Well, it was
you
like
get from it.
100%. That's
Aretes.
a lot.
Oh, that one hit from Wraith King takes him down to half. It's a good Soulbind Bloodrite. Double Rupture in onto Mini and Benny. They're just going to stand their ground there with their BKBs and the Reincarnation. The
BKBs.
EMP zaps Jupiter. Yeah, Incubus, though, you know, they jump in, they jump out, they bait out a couple of spells and cooldowns. Now we're back to defending, holding on to the tier 3s.
If they're not losing heroes, that's another win, I would say. And Rubik's got an Axe now, so if they ever go high ground with 5 heroes of Incubus alive now, they will be losing fights because you're gonna have Centaur, Blink, Stun into Kata, into Rubik with Lion Stun being stolen, or Leshrac or Kunkka. I want to see Rubik get a shard next because if you can get that Rubik Split Earth with that shard effect, that's gonna be sick to defend high grounds with.
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering the same thing. I was thinking, the Lion, he's going to steal Mana Drain, get the BKB on Rubik. That's not that amazing, but I forgot completely about Split Earth Shard. That could be huge.
Yep. And what else we got here for shard effects that you can get?
Tidal Wave?
Nah,
have
that's
to
pretty
steal
much
that.
it. It's just a Leshrac stun, but it's also a save, right, for your allies. So let's say like someone gets X marked, and they get Ghost Shift. You can just pick up your teammate, toss him out of it, get him into a better position.
Ooh. Mini.
Kunkka.
TP straight up
Let's
to
get BKB.
top. He does. He tried to blink one shot at Aretes, but now the Rupture towards Lion. Blink Stump onto him with a Sunstrike. Jupiter gets popped out. Benny's moved forward. The Stampede to disengage. Black Soul turns to the Tornado. Inside the Blood right there. I mean, they're being forced to fight here with a Deafening Blast Meatball landing on them. Mini gets pushed back and BKB's up. The Reincarnation's going to bring the Wraith King back in as they focus Black Soul. The Invoker down. Hits him with the tie, bring up the Blink Stomp.
Gotta buy that.
Re-engaging back towards them. And there's Bloodseekers going wild on the Abaddon. Benny, he's been struggling to stick on a target, but he finally finds Burner with the chain stuns, the Split Earth landing, and the Torrent. 3 stuns to control him up. Bloodseeker gone for a minute, and it looks like this should be the door shutting and slamming in the faces of Incubus.
Oh, they still got Sladin to worry about. Not
Not
anymore.
for much longer. Not for much longer. Mini with a triple.
Oh, he did not break that blink. So it was very interesting because Invoker got rid of the first life of Wraith King, but he didn't drop the Kata, did he? The whole time. Like, even a zoning Kata or one that makes BINOMISTAS walk away from the fight would have been very beneficial for them in that last engagement, but
Yeah.
it's just so weird how Black Soul is playing with his Aghanims right now. I'm not liking this. And now they're gonna get a free Rax. Get out. Didn't really
Roshan's
lose too
alive.
much. Yep.
Second Daedalus nearly here for Mini. He's what, 1,000 gold away from, I think, the Chrysalis and the recipe, yeah. Over towards his courier heading to that secret shop. At least Incubus
It's gonna
scout
be,
out this and smoke towards Roshan. So this is going to be like last chance saloon for Incubus, really. It's either win this fight or lose the game.
Right.
An illusion rune.
They gotta get this. But
Benny.
wait, their Sunstrike is on cooldown though.
He gets an illusion. Yeah, they Sunstruck in the
Kata.
pit to scout. The Stampedes come out. They're focusing Black Soul. The Invoker is going to BKB and run away. Burner trying to get the double rupture towards Nuages and Benny.
Oh my
but
God,
Mini
they
just slays them. Destroying them. Benjez gets a 3-man stomp, but there's little to no follow through, and that Edict Pulse Nova will find him, and there's GG. We knew it. Last chance. One team fight to rule them all, and Incubus, they just couldn't get it done.
Radiant victory.
And BINOMISTAS, you know, last season they were so close to getting to Division 1, so close, the tiebreakers were there, and this time around, these guys, they want to show why they were the best, and getting to Division 1, like, I'm looking forward to this team in Game 2, stomp them out again. I mean, Incubus, they had some decent heroes, but the way that BINOMISTAS played, they just didn't allow Incubus to play the game, and that's a sign of a really good team right there.
Yeah, and this is, BINOMISTAS on Peruvian servers. If we see them on Brazilian servers, Game 2 is